Hi, everybody. My name is Douglas McCrell,
And I'm Suzette Islam.
and we are Pantry Party. Of course, my name is Douglas McCrell. I am currently employed as a video producer for Pfizer's global security team, and I'm extremely interested in finding employment someday, integrating video into my full-stack web development.
And again, my name is Suzette Islam. I have a background in customer service in both the healthcare and the education field, and I aspire to be a software developer for an art tech company. So the problem that we're trying to solve is social distancing and the lack of cooking streams. With people stuck at home, audiences are seeking live streaming content in greater numbers when it comes to cooking related material. Current platforms give users access to go live, but they don't offer tools that would make an instructional cooking show easy and intuitive. And recipe sites and blogs are disconnected from live streaming platforms, so broadcasters would have to provide external resources to their audiences so they can follow along with them as they stream their show.
So what's the solution to that problem? Pantry Party! Fresh streams served daily. With Pantry Party, users can gain access to our tools to create and curate their own recipes and share them publicly or keep them private in their own digital cookbook. Users can schedule live stream events in advance so their audiences can stay aware of when their hosts are going live, their favorite hosts. Additionally, by connecting a cookbook recipe to a broadcast, users gain access to on-screen displays of cooking directions that they can control as they present their show live. And if users don't have any recipes of their own, they can host a show using suggested recipes that they can find right on their dashboard. So without further ado, I'd like to present our demo of Pantry Party.
Right. So when Pantry Party loads, you're greeted by our landing page. We're keeping the party theme going on with the confetti, and we have two buttons that allow users to log in and sign up. So I'm going to log in as an existing user. When the user logs in, their user dashboard loads, and here you can see three sections where they have recipe suggestions for those that don't have any recipes in their cookbook, recipes from their cookbook, and upcoming events. If you click on a recipe in the recipe suggestion, you have a YouTube video that you're able to follow alongside with an ingredients list and directions. So you can have both visual and text for you to follow. When we return back to our user dashboard, we're gonna click this button to view all recipes. Here, the user cookbook loads and you see all of the user's recipes in their cookbook. If a user would like to add a new recipe, they can click this button up here. It redirects them to a form where they're able to add a recipe by inputting the recipe name, directions, including ingredients. If they have more than one, they click the plus button and more rows populate alongside with hashtags. We return back to our dashboard and we see upcoming events. If we view all events, similarly to the cookbook, all events populate on a container page and they're able to start their broadcast from their event card. So I'm going to click the start broadcast button and it'll reroute me to a broadcasting page where I will be able to initiate my broadcast and have users follow the steps to my recipe down below. But rather than starting my own broadcast right now, let's see if there are any streams going on. So we're gonna click the TV button up here. Oh, we see Doug is hosting Taco Time. So let's go and check that out. I'm going to connect.
Hey everybody, welcome to In Pursuit of Good Food. I'm your host, Douglas McCrell, and today we're making tacos. Well, folks, of course, I actually know that our time is limited, so I won't put up for too much of this particular sketch. But I did want to, of course, showcase, oops, looks like I lost my connection, but I was going to showcase that we are live presenting at this time. we have access to a live stream that allows us, with just another click of this button, to showcase that we are streaming live right now on our app. And that's only thanks to being fully deployed with an SSL certificate. So that way we can actually get past the security breaches, the protocols that would block cameras from most devices. So if you'll follow me, I'm gonna actually head back to my Zoom now. You can see me coming into the camera here on Zoom as we continue. So I wanted to showcase quick while we still have this live, is that as you can tell, we stepped into this broadcast live. We're already at step 3. So that way it's always going to stay current with the current step on screen. And if we want to, we can push to the next one, step 4. But say as a presenter, I accidentally hit an extra step, I can always step backwards. I have full control and can go at any time forward and backward within our steps. So that way the audiences can stay on top of exactly where they need to be at all times. So with that, I think we're going to close our demo, head back to our slides, and talk about our tech milestones. Now, obviously, one of the biggest tech milestones we had was trying to hook up this video feed, trying to have live streams and work, and that's all thanks to WebRTC, a set of tools created by Google. We use a stun server to be able to send our ICE credentials through the cloud, so that way users can use RTC peer connection to send their video stream. So the broadcaster can send it out to as many people as they need, and the best part is it's incredibly stable. As you can tell, this is all actually being hosted through the same computer. So that way I don't need to, I've actually got the live stream going on right now. I've got it connected to several times. And although we may not have a turn server just yet, we do have this set up correctly. The heart of WebRTC is beating strong.
Another tech milestone we had was the distribution of data to multiple tables with a single request. So on our recipe form, we gather pertinent information for the recipe, ingredients, and hashtags. The ingredients and hashtags have their own separate tables in our database. So rather than making multiple requests, we use the promise.all method, which handles and fulfills multiple asynchronous tasks and allowed us to distribute all of the data accordingly with one call.
So let's talk about future implementations. Obviously, there was the few that I've brought up already, implementing a turn server, that media server that would help present our stream and make it a little more secure. But we also want to, of course, create an explore page, so that way users can find other users and other recipes a lot easier and be able to follow those as they go along. I'd also like to implement a text chat, so that way users would be able to talk with, so audience members can talk to those who are broadcasting and be a part of the show.
Another implementation we would like to have to our second version of our app is to establish a follower system where users can have a virtual personal connection with others. And we would like users to have the ability to save public recipes to their cookbook, so that those recipes populate on their events form, where they're able to pick what recipe they would like to use for another stream.
And with that, we'd like to open the floor to any questions that you might have at this time. Thank you all so much. We've been Pantry Party.
Wow. I have a question. How do you guys originate the streams? What app do you use for that?
Actually, this is all taking place directly inside of our own app. There's no, it's all done through Socket.io, and the WebRTC connection is really maintained on our site. So the heavy lifting is actually coming from the local computer itself, the peer server. So that way so after you make the connection through, because NAT servers block IP addresses, a stun server is basically a simple lightweight server, and Google provides a lot of these for free. The stun server just sends the ICE credentials, the public facing IP address, so that way the two computers can connect, and RTC peer connection is what sends, it's like this long inscrutable code, but that's the video feed, and that's what's. And once you get a connection, once you hold on to that media stream by making the authorization to use like a web camera or a device camera like an iPad or an iPhone or what have you, that's what allows it to handle that. But pushing forward, I would like to implement, if we had a turn server, we would be able to do things like allowing users to record streams, because that's actually relaying the media itself. And as such, that server can take on the heavy lifting of recording for however long we want to give out access to those to record.
Interesting, thank you. I didn't see an opportunity to start a stream in your app, so that's probably another page, or maybe I missed it. Pretty cool.
Oh, no, I apologize. Yeah, it takes place within the event itself. So you create an event, you attach a recipe to it, and then after you go, that will be listed only to the user itself, the broadcaster. And when the broadcaster clicks on the event, they have the opportunity to go live, to start their broadcast by a click of a button within the broadcast page. Then it will be publicly listed on the streams page, where that way users can just sort of click into a stream and start watching right away.
Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff.
Super cool presentation, guys. Sorry, Dessa. I was actually going to ask, can you talk about one of the technical problems that you had with learning and using WebRTC? Oh,
of course. There are a couple hurdles. Again, I apologize, Suzette, for taking point here. Basically, there are three things that you need to really learn to get this to work right. The first is getting the media stream for your device by using a get media streams. There's a handful of things hurdles you need to get over, and different device requirements. For example, this WebRTC itself does not work across all browsers. This is particularly going to work best on Chrome and in Firefox, but it will not work at all, for example, in Safari. That's a limitation. But there are services that you can buy into, like Vox, or Mux rather, which is the same service, media service that Vimeo uses. But I digress. Basically, so getting the media stream, learning how to use WebSockets to create the handshake to send things in real time. So the event is kickstarted by the broadcaster starting the broadcast and getting their socket ID. That way that we can send that socket ID for the watchers to connect to, so the watchers know where that's happening within our app. Does that hopefully those were the two big keys to getting this down.
Yeah.
Hey, suppose I had a third-party app, a separate application, and I wanted to access some of the data, because you store recipes, obviously, right? How would I do that? How do you expose your data if you do?
Oh, I see. So if you wanted to integrate external recipes, forgive me.
Just for the sake of argument, let's say I had an app that actually kept track of somebody else's food list, of somebody's food list, and I wanted to use your app so I could correlate the information. How would I do that? Is there a way?
Actually, that wouldn't be too hard. I'm going to let Suzette take point on that, as we're using an outside API for that very reason.
Yeah.
Suzette, could you talk on that?
So what we did with our external API was that we made, requests. They provided like random recipes that we were able to use, and with that, they were taking recipes from other people that they had stored in their database, and we were able to implement like those Axios calls to receive at least 4 of those recipes and have them populate on our page.
So with that infrastructure in place, it wouldn't be too much of a hurdle to start incorporating other people's databases. Likewise, with some caveats, obviously, for the sake of safety. We don't want to have them just uploading whatever they want.
But how do you expose yours? In other words, if the Pantry team wanted some of your data.
Oh, I see. Well, at the moment, it is just available through Axios calls right now. We could just give them access to our API, our internal API. There's nothing securing it at the moment, but it is something we could look into pushing forward.
Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem.